is turning? How do we sleep while our beds are burning? How can we dance when our earth is burning? How do we sleep while our beds are burning?
Welcome to the Global Climate Change Report for June 24th. I'm Ashley Dion, and these are the major global warming stories of the past week. On June 18th, Reuters reported that the new movie Arctic Tale shows young polar bears and walruses struggling towards adulthood in a melting Arctic. Produced by the company behind March of Penguins and narrated by singer-actress Queen Latifah, Arctic Tale depicts the lives of female polar bear cub Nanu and female walrus calf Sela from birth to parenthood. The characters are composites of animals filmed in the Arctic over 10 years. Adam Revich, who directed the film with his wife Sarah Robertson, said Nanu and Sela faced life-and-death challenges made greater by an Arctic climate that changed dramatically during the filming and inspired the movie's theme. Quote, "There was a time where we were discussing, should we address climate change or shouldn't we? And we felt a responsibility," Revich said at the world premiere of the film at Silver Docks Documentary Film Festival outside Washington. The movie opens commercially July 25th in Los Angeles and New York, and nationally in August. On June 20th, Reuters reported that Canon Electronics, Nike, and food and consumer goods giant Unilever plc topped a list rating climate-friendly companies. The Climate Count scorecard was compiled by the New England-based environmental group Clean Air Cool Planet and Stonyfield Farm, a U.S. organic yogurt maker. It showed a cluster at the bottom of the list of 56 companies, with 6 tied for last with scores of 0 on a 100-point scale. Gary Hirschberg, Stonefield Farm's chief and chair of Climate Counts, said, quote, "It's not enough to recycle paper and change light bulbs. We need to significantly reduce our carbon footprint. Nobody deserves, or for that matter, is getting an A." End quote. On June 20th, Reuters reported that Google Inc. aims to cut or offset all of its greenhouse emissions by the end of the year. Google is one of a number of companies that are attempting to cut all of their emissions of gases scientists link to global warming. The company said on its website that it's investing in renewable energies like solar and will purchase carbon offsets for emissions it cannot reduce directly. Google said, quote, "On their own, carbon offsets are not capable of creating the kinds of fundamental changes to our energy infrastructure that will be necessary to stabilize global greenhouse gas emissions to safe levels. But we believe that offsets can offer real, measurable, and additional emission reductions that will allow us to take full responsibility for our footprint today." End quote. On June 20th, the Los Angeles Times reported that China would surpass the United States as the world's largest producer of greenhouse gases as early as the end of this year. According to a report released this week by the Netherlands Environmental Assessment Agency, China's emissions of carbon dioxide, the most significant greenhouse gas, already have exceeded those of the United States. The study estimated that the demand for power from China's rapidly expanding economy caused carbon dioxide emissions to rise by 9% in 2006. That increase, coupled with a slight decline in the United States, meant China's emissions for the year surpassed those of the U.S. by 8%. On June 20th, the Associated Press reported that while California is sometimes ridiculed for its granola image and left-leaning tendencies, the states also set the agenda for clean air, clean water, and other health standards that later became the norm in Middle America. It was the first to kick smokers out of bars, order tailpipe smog checks, and put warnings on beer. Today, the state where drivers of hybrid cars cruise solo in carpool lanes serve as the template for other states on global warming policy. Even the federal government's taken notice. The U.S. Supreme Court recently endorsed California's strategy to regulate greenhouse gases from vehicles, validating the state's claim that the emissions should be classified as air pollutants over the objections of the Bush administration.
How can we dance when our earth is turning?